What happens when a reality TV queen says her ex owes her nearly $700,000, and he fires back by calling her court filings nothing more than toilet paper? That's exactly the war unfolding right now between Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams and her ex-husband, Simon Guobadia. And trust me, this drama goes way deeper than just money. Porsha Williams isn't holding back. She just filed explosive new documents in Georgia, asking a judge to hold her ex in contempt for flat-out refusing to pay what the court ordered. According to Porsha, Simon owes her more than $667,000, covering alimony, property taxes, legal fees, and even the upkeep of their former marital mansion. She says his refusal isn't just neglect. It's an intentional and ongoing disregard for the court's final ruling. In other words, Simon knows what he's supposed to do, but he's simply not doing it. But this wasn't some quick fling. Let's rewind, because the story of Porsha and Simon's marriage is just as shocking as its messy ending. Porsha stunned fans when she married Simon Guobadia in late 2022 after a whirlwind engagement. It was love at first sight, or at least that's how it looked on Bravo. But behind the glam, cracks were already forming. By February 2024, barely 15 months into the marriage, Porsha filed for divorce. Just 4 months later, in June 2025, the split was finalized. The divorce wasn't just about splitting assets. It was about upholding a prenup, deciding who got the house, and determining whether Simon would owe ongoing support. Porsha walked away with a win, but as she's making clear now, winning on paper doesn't mean much if the checks don't actually show up. And Simon? He didn't take the judgment lightly. Simon claims he only learned of Porsha's new filing through the media. And instead of staying quiet, he clapped back hard. In a public statement, he insisted that their case is under appeal at the Georgia Court of Appeals, meaning no lower court should even entertain Porsha's contempt motion. His words? He called the filing tantamount to toilet tissue for the public's consumption. That's not just a denial. That's a declaration of war. Simon says until the appeal is settled, none of these new claims mean a thing. But while he argues the law, Porsha's team paints a very different picture. A man stalling for time while the debts pile higher. And remember, this isn't Simon's first legal or personal battle in the spotlight. In early 2025, Simon was detained by ICE, sparking rumors that he could face deportation. For months, his immigration status hung in the balance, until he was eventually deported back to Nigeria. While all this was playing out, Porsha took to social media with a cryptic but cutting message. It's disheartening to see my estranged husband make choices that have led to this outcome. At this moment, my priority is moving forward with my family. Fans couldn't help but connect the dots. Did Porsha know more about Simon's background than she first let on? Some wondered if his immigration troubles played a role in their fast divorce, even though Porsha insists the two issues were unrelated. Still, the timing made headlines, and Simon's absence only adds another layer to this unpaid debts battle. Since the split, Simon hasn't exactly kept things classy. In interviews, he said he absolutely regrets marrying Porsha, claiming he was blindsided by her divorce filing. He even suggested she was targeting him financially from the start, accusing her of using him for his wealth and connections. Porsha, on the other hand, calls the entire marriage a nightmare. In her words, she finally exhaled after the divorce was finalized. She says she's focusing on her healing, her daughter, and her career, while leaving Simon to fight his battles alone. But with nearly $700,000 on the line, this is one fight she's clearly not walking away from. Now, here's where the online chatter gets messy. Some fans are speculating that Simon's appeal is nothing more than a stalling tactic, delaying the inevitable payout until he can move money around, or perhaps even pushing Porsha to settle for less. Others think he might try to give up his share of equity in their old marital mansion instead of handing over the full cash amount. Of course, none of that's confirmed, but the speculation adds fuel to an already explosive divorce saga. And for Porsha, the big question is simple. How much longer can she wait? What comes next? The next move is now in the hands of the Georgia Court of Appeals. Until a higher court rules, Simon insists the lower court can't touch him. But if that appeal fails, Porsha could be looking at a major payday, and Simon could be staring down real consequences for contempt of court. This isn't just about money anymore. It's about power, control, and pride. And in the court of public opinion, both sides are fighting for the last word. So what happens now? Will Porsha finally collect the $667,000 she says she's owed? Or will Simon's legal maneuvers buy him more time, and maybe even change the outcome? One thing's for sure. When it comes to love, money, and reality TV, the drama never ends once the cameras stop rolling. What do you think? Should Simon be forced to pay up now? Or does he have a point about the appeal? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that pull back the curtain on Hollywood's messiest battles.